Deep out in the Nevada desert, fenced off and watched over by armed guards, there's a place that for decades the government insisted didn't even exist. And this spot, it's become ground zero for our wildest theories and biggest questions about what's really being hidden from us.
So let's just get right into it. For over half a century, the question of what's happening at Area 51 has been a global obsession. The official silence just created this huge vacuum. And you know what rushes in to fill a vacuum? Our imagination.
And what did we imagine? Well, how about a secret hangar for captured alien spacecraft? Maybe even the one that supposedly crashed at Roswell.
Or what if it's a hidden lab? A place where top scientists are working around the clock, trying to figure out how alien technology actually works. Or maybe, just maybe, it's something even bigger. You know, like a diplomatic base, set up after a secret treaty was made with an alien race. These are the legends that define this place.
The whole modern myth of Area 51 really caught fire because of one person. His claims back in 1989 were so explosive, they dragged this secret base right into the global spotlight.
His name was Bob Lazar. In 1989, he went on TV, said he was a physicist, and told a story that sounded like it was straight out of science fiction. He claimed he'd worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at a secret facility. And that testimony, it was like throwing gasoline on a fire.
Now, the most mind-blowing detail from Lazar's story was about something he called Element 115. He said it was this exotic superfuel for the alien reactors, a material so powerful it could create its own gravity, basically letting the ships make impossible turns and move instantly. And here is where the story gets really wild. Years later, in 2003, scientists actually created Element 115 in a lab. They called it Moscovium. Lazar's supporters saw this as proof he was telling the truth. But there's a massive catch. The version made in the lab was incredibly unstable. It decayed in less than a second. Lazar was adamant that the alien version was perfectly stable.
Bob Lazar's story is still one of the most hotly debated topics in UFO history. But, okay, let's step away from the legends and the speculation for a minute. What do we actually know for a fact?
For decades, the U.S. government just flat out denied the base even existed. That all changed in 2013. A Freedom of Information Act request finally forced the CIA to declassify documents that, for the first time, officially acknowledged Area 51 and started to peel back the layers on its real purpose. So, what did those declassified documents say? Well, the base wasn't built for aliens. Turns out, it was created way back in 1955 by the CIA. They needed a totally isolated, top-secret place to develop and test the most advanced spy planes of the Cold War.
The mission was crystal clear. Get a total technological upper hand on the Soviet Union. And to do that, you don't just have to build better planes, you have to understand theirs, inside and out.
So through all kinds of secret operations and defections, the U.S. got its hands on Soviet fighter jets, like the MiG-21. They'd fly them out to Area 51, take them apart, study every inch, and then have elite U.S. pilots fly them to figure out all their weaknesses. It was all about developing ways to beat them in a real dogfight.
This place was literally the birthplace of ghost planes. It's where engineers perfected stealth technology, creating incredible aircraft like the F-117A Nighthawk, a fighter that was almost invisible to radar. It completely changed the rules of modern warfare.
But this relentless drive for secrecy and technology came at a truly terrible price for the people who worked there, a cost that was hidden from the public for decades.
See, to keep things secret, absolutely nothing could leave the base. So what do? According to former workers, they dug huge, open pits in the desert and just burned everything. I'm talking hazardous chemicals, exotic materials from stealth planes, even old office furniture. All of it just sent up in clouds of poisonous smoke.
The results were just devastating. People who work there developed these horrific illnesses, cancers. And when they and their families tried to sue, the government just invoked national security to get the lawsuits thrown out, refusing to even say what chemicals they were all exposed to.
So you've got these toxic secrets being hidden on the ground, but what about the secret planes flying up in the sky? Well, this is where the truth gets even stranger than the fiction, and where the UFO myths slam right into the declassified facts. The whole thing boils down to one simple factor: altitude. Back in the 1950s, commercial planes flew at around 20,000 feet. But all of a sudden, you have the secret U-2 spy plane flying at over 60,000 feet.
Now, imagine you're a pilot way down below. You look up and see these sleek silver objects reflecting sunlight from a height that should be impossible. What would you think? They looked completely alien.
And here it is, straight from the horse's mouth, the CIA's own declassified history. The agency realized this flood of UFO reports was the perfect cover story. They didn't have to invent a thing. The public did all the work for them. Every UFO sighting just added another layer of misdirection, protecting their most vital Cold War secrets.
Okay, so the story of the U-2 and the Cold War projects, that stuff is declassified now. But make no mistake, the secrecy around Area 51 is far, far from over.
You want proof? Look no further than Janet Airlines. That's the unofficial nickname for a fleet of unmarked Boeing 737s. To this day, they fly workers with top-secret clearance from a private terminal in Las Vegas to the base, every single day. It's happening right now. And it tells you that whatever is going on out there, it remains one of the nation's most closely guarded secrets.
We know what they were hiding back then. Spy planes, Soviet jets, groundbreaking stealth technology. Which really just leaves us with one final, unavoidable question. What revolutionary, world-changing secrets are they hiding there now?